With its significant career mode upgrades and a new traction-centric handling model, F124 offers an immersive and fun experience, albeit after a period of recalibration. And it's not to everyone's taste. EA Sports called F124's new handling model Codemasters' largest ever physics update, while also claiming it delivers the most authentic and immersive experience ever in an F1 title, which is quite the claim. In my F124 preview last week, after spending a few days with the game, my initial impressions were that the handling and physics overhaul did indeed offer a more enjoyable and immersive driving experience. And now, after 20 hours plus of playtime, my feelings haven't changed, but it's also clear that the new handling model won't be for everyone. F124's handling model feels strange at first. The front end of your car is extremely pointy and ultra sensitive to your wheel inputs. The good news is that this can be toned down somewhat by adjusting the maximum wheel rotation in settings, which can be found in the vibration and force feedback sub-menu. If you set this at around 300 degrees or lower in F123, you'll want it to be set at least 360 degrees in F124, but I'd recommend playing around with it until you feel comfortable with the input. The other thing you'll notice is the insane amount of traction that's available to you in F124, particularly in the medium and high speed corners, allowing you to put the power down far earlier than you're used to and to be more aggressive in your corner entry speed too. There's also even more traction at corner exits too, even with traction control turned off, demonstrating the grip levels at play. EA Sports says these changes have been made after feedback from real-life F1 drivers like Max Verstappen about how F1 cars should drive and feel. It will take time for you to get used to the new handling model, but once you're ready to test the limits of grip, you'll find that you'll hear a tyre squeal when you finally run out of traction, which is commonly followed up by a slide or some wheel spin. But these little moments can be corrected quite easily, which is a major change compared to F123. You'll immediately notice the handling model changes when driving some of the most difficult corners in F1, and you'll find you can take them faster than ever. In F124, sections like Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone, Jeddah's super fast section 1, and Spa in its entirety, the car feels planted, giving you the confidence to find the limits of grip and your talent. The other big change is that curbs are now able to be attacked incredibly aggressively, with little to no risk of losing time. Tracks like Imola, Canada and Hungary showcase this in the best way, as attacking the curbs is the key to a good lap time. Now, is this realistic? No, not really, but it's certainly made it easier and more controllable, which has been the theme of the handling changes so far. What isn't easier, however, is the way you have to maximise your use of ERS in races. In F124, if you're not constantly managing your battery, not using the overtake button on crucial corner exits or when trying to overtake, or not using the new hot lap ERS option trying to perform an undercut, you'll be at a major disadvantage. Need to be thinking about this tactically during races and assess when is best to deploy your battery, because if it runs out or you have to derate at the end of straights, you'll be a sitting duck. And thanks to the new aerodynamic modelling, the understeer when you're following another car in dirty air is more apparent than ever before, which is annoying, but unfortunately something that we see in real life at every F1 race. One of the most disappointing elements of F124's gameplay is the curious lack of feedback and feeling in the low speed corners, with the cars feeling floaty and unpredictable. It's really hard to tell if you're in the right gear or when exactly to put your foot down, and although it does mostly hold traction due to the new handling model, there's not really enough feedback to build up the muscle memory you need in these types of corners. If you're a hardcore fan of EA Sports and Codemasters F1 game series, you'll have likely seen some of the backlash from streamers and F1 esports drivers about the new handling model. YouTuber Alex Gillen posted a video explaining why he thinks the new handling model sucks, with the content creator going into detail about the unnatural way you need to drive and set up the car to get the fastest lap times possible. While I don't disagree with the points being made, with hardcore players being able to essentially drift around corners and still post competitive lap times, I'm also very much not a professional esports driver, and realistically, I'm not going to be topping any time trial leaderboards anytime soon. If you're like me, there's a lot of fun to be had with the new handling model. You can get on the throttle earlier and be more aggressive in your driving than ever before, and also being able to attack the curbs makes it easier to obtain the lap times you're after. But if you're someone who is looking to find the very limits of grip and is aiming for world record lap times, I can understand if you're feeling frustrated about the new handling model, because the way you're expected to drive the car to get them is completely unnatural. If you want to try out how these cars with crazy setups feel to drive, just go to Time Trial, check out the top times and load one of their setups and you'll see what I mean. It's pretty ridiculous. Various content creators have been told that a patch is coming to F1 24 that will make an impact on the current handling model, but the release timeline for this update is yet to be confirmed. Mirror Gaming has also reached out to EA Sports to get confirmation on what this patch will include and when exactly it's coming, but there's been no word yet, and if we get a response we'll definitely post it in the comment section down below as a pinned comment. But for now, this is how it is. And look, I'm still having a lot of fun, but your mileage may vary. Not content with overhauling the entire handling and physics model, F1 24's career mode has also received its most significant update since 2016, with players able to choose from their favourite F1 driver, F2 driver, iconic driver, or even create a completely custom character and drive them to glory. There are just enough new features and gameplay variations for the career mode to feel like a new experience, despite most of the foundational elements like R&D being very familiar, as they've been carried over from previous games. The ability to choose your favourite driver and have them appear in new cutscenes add a nice element of realism, which is further amplified by the real life radio messages that play at key moments.
Great effort, guys. That was hard work, man.
Like wins, podiums, race finishes and crashes, which remains one of my favourite additions to this year's game. Another new element is the ability to have secret talks with rival F1 teams about potentially making a move, with the risk of your team finding out getting higher every time you agree to rendezvous. As the talks progress, you'll find out more information about things like their car's development path, which is handy to know in any case, but these talks aren't guaranteed to lead to a contract offer, as it still depends on your performance on track. Everything revolves around the new driver recognition system, which works in your favour if you're outperforming your teammate, as you can lead the development of your car and attract admirers from up and down the paddock. But if your teammate is outperforming you, you'll start to lose control of the direction of the team, very much giving them the upper hand and making your job far harder. Another nice touch in career mode is accolades, with each real-life F1 driver having custom long-term milestones that are linked to their past performance in the sport. For Lewis Hamilton, you'll want to win the 8th driver's title. But for Nico Hülkenberg, for example, getting the first podium marks a huge milestone. As you progress through your career, these are constantly tracked, giving you the chance to reflect on everything you've achieved so far. It's a really nice touch. Then there are the track updates, with Silverstone, Spa, Jeddah and Lusail getting significant updates in this year's game. Eau Rouge and Radion in Spa have been completely reprofiled and look much more realistic, while Silverstone's Sector 1 also looks completely different and feels more open than last year's game, matching how it looks in real life. The drivers themselves have also got a glow up and now feature full hair rendering, adding another layer of realism and a touch more polish. If you're an F1 fan who enjoys a bit of sim racing, or as someone who gets involved with casual races with friends or online, there's plenty to like about F1 24's new handling model, which makes the cars easier to drive and easier to push to the limit. For casual players, it's probably the most approachable and reassuring F1 game ever. But if you're someone who wants to find the limit and push beyond it, it's clear that there's still work to be done to fine-tune the new physics, because if anything, it all just looks a little bit silly right now for a game that's supposed to be all about realism and immersion. Let us know in the comments below if you're enjoying the new handling model or if you prefer last year's game. The new career mode isn't quite a revolution, more of an evolution, with Codemasters and EA Sports taking the foundations from previous games and adding just enough new features and gameplay variation to feel like a fresh experience. We give F1 24 a score of 4 out of 5 stars here on Mirror Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and get subscribed. There's a lot more where this came from and you're not going to want to miss out. But that's all from me. I guess the only thing to say is lights out and away we go. See you on the racetrack.